Um, 2019 November the 2nd, Saturday. It's about 5:45. We're going to do George Peak through the forest. You can't see the peak at the moment. Quite a fair group here, and the plan today is to do it nice and slowly. Okay, this is the start through the forest. Just a moment, let's just look back. There's sunrise, some birds in the background. That's the Arbor Road gate, and here we go. Alright. It's just about coming on to 10 to 6, 5 to 6. We're going on to the Link downhill track. This is at the top of the forest. There's Arbor Road in the background, and here we go. All right.
Sorry, I'm not too sure if I still have to wave your video.
No, that's okay. I'll rotate around you.
Yeah. This is a little bit of park run.
Yeah. A couple of tree roots across the way.
Hectic.
No, you'll be able to deal with it.
And why are you giving us a downhill when we should be going up?
The uphill's coming.
Oh.
Yeah, it's coming.
No, no.
Shortly.
This is what you call a break.
Yeah. And that is the fantastic route. It's quite fantastic. And this is the Link going up the hill.
That's more or less when you go up the mountain.
That's right. Okay, it's about 6:10 on my watch, and this is the top of the Link. There's a sign on the tree. The Link going down, and we're going towards sunrise now. And that's the peak, in the middle of the shot. I'm going up there.
But I've never been up the mountain. We've run up to the tower, which I think is the icon to somewhere. It's just a normal top contour.
Yeah, that's right. There where the road bends in the front. We're not going to go around the bend. We're going to go left up the mountain. It's a long and straight path for a bit. All good, right? Nee mevrouw, ek weet nie meer nie. Our next turn is right here in front, it's about 10 meters away.
Or at the cross where we stop next. Because
Okay.
we don't have to stop now.
We are going to stop before we get to the cross again.
Oh, is it?
Yes.
Is it very steep now up to the cross?
Not very steep. It's a gradual gradient.
Okay.
But it's steeper than...
Yeah.
It's not steeper than what we've just done.
We've just done a kilometer, by the way, in terms of foot distance
All right.
from the cross, from
Yeah.
the start. This is actually...
And we're going to take this. We're going to take this path straight up to the top where it runs into the bush there, and then we're going to take a left towards the tower, but not all the way towards the tower. It's about 6:20 on my watch. Here's a steep uphill. Can't really see it through the trees here. And you come up the hill, There's a split to the right, and we're going to take the left hand side.
398. So ek amper 100 nou geklim.
That path over there to the right goes to the Old George Dam. Old George Dam. Many people get confused apparently. There are 3 dams, 3 big, well, relatively big dams in the local area. That's the Old George Dam. It's got a proper dam wall. There's a crack in the wall, and that's probably why they don't bother with it too much anymore. Then if you go through Tonelbos, above the railway line through Tonelbos towards Teekop Way, you get to the George Dam, and then past that to Teekop, and then down to Saasveld, then you get to the Gardenroute Dam. And many people get these confused. Many people call the Gardenroute Dam the George Dam, and they call the Old George Dam the George Dam. Okay, it's about 6:25. We're on the horizontal path going towards the Tower Way from that turnoff, that last turnoff. There's a town on our left hand side, sun behind our backs. There's a bit of mud coming up. It's about a pace apart. Okay.
It's a bit wrong, but that's fine. Oh, this is very easy path. Just watch out for snakes.
Yeah. And then the path takes a turn to the right. It carries on ahead, but we're going up
We need to
up
start
the hill.
getting to the mountain. It might help.
All right. Here's our next bit of climb. We're going to the railway line now.
Oh yeah. Plus the tracks have climbed quite a bit by here.
Yep.
What's this? I forgot now. I wonder what the height is where the power vans that used to take you up. They used to say, I think they climbed to about 800 meters.
That might be about right, because Outeniqua Pass is about 800,
Yeah.
850 or
Yeah,
something.
it climbs to that sort of level.
Yeah.
And then from there, yeah, we go another 500.
Last little bit of steepness before the railway line. Yep. Careful.
Sorry?
Right.
There we go.
It is rather gravelly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And actually see this back.
And railway line.
There we go.
Okay. Right, there's the track.
Yeah.
That's the rubber in.
There's the robbie enetjie daar.
Right, head in.
Okay. From here we're going towards the tower on the railway line for a short bit again, and then we're going to turn up the mountain again to go. There's a pylon up there. Pylon is just behind the bushes, and behind that is the cross, and then from there it's just one way up. It's about 5 to 7. We've just had our picnic here on the railway tracks. That's where I'm going to drop the stick there. This is where we came out, and we're about ready to get up the mountain again. And very shortly, just across the tracks, there's a path. So we actually don't go down the railway tracks, we go up into the mountain immediately. And there's the Semtech tower right behind the bushes of it. It's still 5 to 7, and we're reaching an old ruin. There's some cement slabs lying around.
how many meters per minute or per hour
Yeah.
we can get that we reach.
It's not Apple do that, but it's not very fast.
Step up.
It's not very fast. But we're not here for speed.
Yeah, no,
When I run, then we watch like 5 minutes a K or whatever. Then I'm always into that.
I think it's also a good figure to have in your head whenever you go something.
Yeah.
If you do something like this again.
Yes. Actually, you know what? My phone is tracking the route.
It's just past 7 o'clock. And we're at the pylon with the Centec tower at the background. And ready to go? Okay.
Okay, having quick little video shot. Eh?
Yeah, just a quick video.
You can put me in the video when I have to scramble up a rock or something.
Yeah,
stupid.
I'll do that. It's about 7:05 on my watch, and the cross is just ahead. It's about 7:15 on my watch.
You can make it to the cross, Ron. Rodney.
Okay.
You can make it to the cross. We can stop there.
Can we make it to the cross?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. There's the cross in front of us,
Okay.
and this is one of our main rest points along the way. From here, there's just one path up the hill, and that's up. Ah.
Now we're going to fight for a place to sit.
We've done about 2.3, 2.4 K.
Okay, we've got some route markers here
Ah.
running across. I've never seen these before. This is Thunderbird off to the west, and there is, just stand there where you are,
Oh, sorry.
and this is Sun Gazer towards the east.
Thunderbird, is that the mountain or what?
Now it's a running track, I think, or a cycling track, or something.
There's nice seating here this way.
There's a Centec tower behind us to the southwest. And there's at the Nikwa Pass in the distance. Don't know if you can see it on the video.
You want to sit down?
Yeah, maybe it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, well, I think
It's about 25 to 9 on my watch. Still early. Some people are having breakfast now. That's the way up the hill. And that's the way down the hill. And over there's... That's the old George Dam right behind us. We came up that little path towards the dam this morning. So I hope you get a feel for what's happening on the video here. How steep the path is. This is about one of the steepest sections we've got. And looking up, I have to strain my neck. That's how steep it is. Yeah, it's about 9:10. Other people are having breakfast and coffee and croissants, and we're climbing a mountain. Okay. Yeah. This was our first official bit of rock scrambling. It was quite challenging. No two bits about it. It's about 9:25, and we're still busy rock scrambling on all fours. Carl is way ahead already. If he can go into 4x4 drive, he moves. And this gives you an idea of how steep the terrain really is. This is about the steepest it's going to get today. It's quite a stretch, then it levels out, and then there's another stretch of steepness, and then it's not as steep again to the top. Okay, it's about 22:11 on my watch, and that's where we've come from, and this is the way ahead. The top is right over there. It seems very close, but it's still quite a bit to climb. We're at altitude, the air is fairly thin. You're going to have to work for your oxygen here. You're going to become tired before you get there. People say amper daar. You're not actually quite amper daar yet, eh? Okay. I want to show you the last bit of rock climbing before what you might want to call Heartbreak Hill. The last stretch before you get to the top. There are yellow markers on the rocks over here. There's another one. And then you climb up there. And I hope my shooting skills are sufficient for you to get an idea of what's involved. It's not impossible to do, but you have to lean against the rocks and wedge your feet into the crevices like that, and then grab where you can like that. I hope that comes out. And here's some more yellow markers, and there's a nice step, and grab there, nice curl for your fingers, and go. And then you're pretty much there. That's the worst of it. Here's a deviation to the one side, view over the town, quite spectacular. That's the lake area, wilderness, Sitchfield. There's the Garden Route Dam. Old George Dam, Centec Tower. Witfontein State Forestry Station, and then Mossel Bay across the bay over there, and all the way to the horizon. And there's a group of people up there waiting for us. We're taking our time. They're about halfway to the top, it seems. It's deceptively what's the word? Deceptively hard to climb this last little bit because of the thin air. You won't notice it, but you're going to work for your oxygen. Okay, it's going on to 5 to 11 on my watch. Can't really see it anymore, but we're just a little bit away from the last bit of rock climbing. And then that's the way to the top. And it is slow going, make no mistake. It's about 20 to 12. And here's a nice little steep climb. You can get a feel for the gradient. The video gives you quite a good idea. Usually a video or photograph doesn't do it justice, but make no mistake, this is a steep climb. It's about 12:15. Here we are, last little stretch. Allemaal net het gemaakt. Everybody's here. Daar zijn mensen.
Kijk, kan ik hier zitten. Hij was, hij maar de strijd op.
Nou, als mijn binnen niet zo zin als ik nou met knieën gestaan en zei hey.
Als er, als er.
Kan ik weer krampen?
Ach nee man.
Die boer.
Ja. Misschien toen je nou begint relaxen.
Ja.
Toe.
Ja.
Sit in de rus. Ja, dis sien julle. Ek begin ek sit op die
Jy moet baie geduld hê. Ek hou my hoed vir jou af.
Als er.
Dit was so lekker maak. Melk.
Ja.
Hey,
Yay.
awesome being here. Thank you.
Sure. Thank you for coming along.
Maar dis sien my pa het altyd gesê dan dan kom ek klein plan. Net.
And this is one of the best views I know of. Just looking out over the mountains, and there's the George Dam. There's a track running along that, just underneath that mountain over there. Going across the ridge, that's Tierkop. There's the hut. And then going down further down that ridge, dirt road. There's a quarry over there, and then behind the quarry, plantations and indigenous forest in Saasveld Campus, and Victoria Bay between the heads over there, wilderness towards the left hand side, the lakes going towards Sedgefield and Knysna in the far distance. I don't think we can actually see Knysna from here.
That's all right.
And then going back down, we're going to take the circle route along the back way, follow this path. You can see it run across the hills, and then there's a little saddle over there, and then runs down the hill on that ridge going back home. From the saddle, going down on the ridge, you can just make out the white trail past Breakfast Rock, over the hill, dropping down. You go downhill towards the railway track, just sort of see it bending around the hill over there. There's the rest of the railway track on the other side, but we're going down that way. There's a white 2-track road. We're going down a bit on that, and then down into the valley, across 2 streams, and up the hill, and towards those grey plantations over there. And along the edge of those plantations, on the eastern side, the left hand side of that, going down and then turn around the bend, and on the northern side, the near side of it, on that dirt road, all the way along, and then back home again. All along there, past the Centec Tower, there's a bend in and then away again, and there's the old George Dam, and straight across from there through the plantations. That's pretty much where we started this morning. There's Arbor Road. Arbor Road is leading straight away from me, and then does that little dogleg bend towards Davidson Road. Alright, that's all the way around.
George Peak, we climbed it this morning. So
Right.
yeah, what we got, George, and is Mossel Bay to the right.
No, you're looking at the rear of the mountain,
Okay,
and if you pan towards your right hand side, you're
Yeah.
looking towards Neisner.
Neisner.
You can
Okay,
see
so
the
we
lakes over
totally
there.
okay, cool. So
Coming
the
around.
people, is there enough?
There's the town.
Okay, so that's George.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, tilted slight. I don't know how far it is, and then Mossel Bay will be more there.
Mossel Bay's about there, that's right.
Okay.
Mossel Bay.
Okay,
Coming around. There's Atinipo Pass.
okay, cool. So phone focus in there.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Doing what it should.
Okay.
Coming back around. And that's
Okay.
where we started.
There we go. Cool. That's awesome.
Okay, it's about 1:45, and we're leaving the peak now. Slightly tricky, stepping down on the rocks. Here's the town to our left hand side, wind blowing up the valley, and we're on the knife edge. There's a valley to our right hand side, and a spectacular view. It's about 1:05 on my watch. That's the way we've come. We can't see George Peak anymore. There's a little hill in the way. Yeah, it's about 1:20 on my watch. And this is the saddle. There's a little sign ahead where the T-junction comes up from Lichtenstein. The road carries straight ahead towards Craddock Peak. There's a slow drop, and as a matter of fact, do a skyline the skyline, and that's Craddock Peak over there. Zooming in on the sign. Craddock Peak 1.8 k's and George Peak 1 kilometer back.
It's down here.
It's down here, ma'am.
Oh, yes, I see. So we're actually right opposite there.
We're right here.
So we've done 1k, we got 7 k's of trail and then 4 k's of easy walking, I think.
Yeah.
But this is downhill now more, I think.
Downhill all the way. Pretty much all the way. Slightly bumpy, but downhill.
Sure. Okay, cool.
It's about 5 to 2 on my watch. We've just come across the only little water source on top of the mountain that I know of. This is a fountain. It's sort of running in here from there. It makes a little pool here. Don't disturb the pool, then the mud rises and you don't get clear water. There are a couple of bugs floating on the water. It's not stagnant. It's entirely clean. When you scoop it out, it's got a brown color to it, like mountain water does. It might have a slight soily, muddy kind of taste, but it's entirely good. Nobody has ever gotten tummy bugs from this, as far as I know. And yeah, if you absolutely, I mean, if you're running out of water, this is the spot to keep in mind. It's a bit away from the top. The saddle is about over there somewhere. Panning across. There's George Peak.
Ja, moontlik. Ek dink dit kan wees. Ja.
If you were sitting on the
Ja.
rails.
Ja.
And that's the way ahead. It is now about 3:30, and they say if you have not reached this point by 2 o'clock, it is too late to continue. For your own safety, we urge you to turn back. So we are, well, going back. This is Breakfast
When they
Rock.
mean continue to either peaks. I
Yes,
suppose.
yes, yeah. Don't go onto the peaks if it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon and you get here. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is Breakfast Rock. The path to your left goes to the viewpoint. I'm just going to take a quick peek here. There's some orange algae or lichen or something growing on those rocks in the riverbed at the bottom of the valley. The same kind of growth is on the rocks in the main waterfall on the front side of the mountain. Sometimes that waterfall seems to be red and orange. It's the same kind of thing. Moving around. Railway track and Syntec Tower and town. That's a general, in that direction is where we started this morning, but we still have to go around the back. There's that unique pass. I want to see if I can get a better view. Yeah, that's a better view. Oh, there's a window open, looks like. That bright flash. And then we're going down the track, and down the hill, and then it zigzags down to the railway track. On the railway track we turn to the right, follow that dirt road for a bit, and then down into the valley eventually, past that pylon over there. Don't know if you can see it on the video. And down into the valley and up that dirt road to the edge of the pine plantations. And then along the edge of the pine plantations, turning left and going back home that way. It's about 20 past 5 on my watch, and this is the bottom end of the zigzags. If you've done this route, you'll know about the zigzags. And there's a railway track, and then coming to the railway track can be tricky because there aren't any clear route markers, and you might think follow the track that way, round the bend, go to the tower and walk down. It's possible to do it, but from what I remember the last time I tried to do that, it's a very long way around this way. So walk the other way. This is the usual way. There's a marker. Somebody left an arrow for us. That's the way that the group went before us. There's the rest of my group just ahead. I ran back to get this video quickly, so going to catch up with him. I think this is it. Yep, this is it. So it's easy to miss it if you don't know what to look for. It's just a slight turn off the track. It's not marked at all. Okay. And then you head down the track and you go for the pylon, and then to the left down into the valley, and then you should be good. It's just past 5:30 on my watch, and can be a little bit tricky if you don't know what to do, where to go. The idea is to head down to that pylon over there, but how to get there along this track, there's a turn off to the left here, which seems to be rather obscurely marked. There's a pole with a rock and another rock on top of the rock. It sounds like a song, I know. And over there, there's a little sign that says George Peak, Craddock Peak. So the idea is that you come up this road, past this pole with the double rock, and then turn to the right hand side to go up to George Peak. Hey, look, there it is. So on your way back, don't miss this marker, and then go down to the pylon. Okay, it's going on to 5:45, and that's the way we've come. There's George Peak. Woo! And here's the pylon, and then there's a sign of some kind. Used to be a sign. It's been burned down in the forest fires of 2018, October 2018. And it says Craddock Peak, George Peak up ahead. And the other one says, let me just get that, come on. Almost there we go. It says Craddock Pass, and that arrow is burnt off on the left hand side. That's the old Oxwagon Pass, and you can follow this trail and actually cross the river and then go up to the old toll house on Montague Pass. And then over here it says power, and that's the way we want to go. That way, because power is the old railway station just behind the Centec Tower. And if you look closely on the video, there's still a little station building, like a depot or something, visible from where I'm standing at the moment. So our general direction is that way, but we're not going to go to power. We want to go through the valley, and then there's a line running diagonally up that ridge. We want to follow that line to the pine trees and then go home. It's about 6:15, and that's where we've been today. It was amazing. Bestest climb ever. Thank you. Just past 6:15 on my watch. There's a downhill track coming down the hill, like downhill tracks do, and going into the forest. What's it say? Happy Cows Crossing. Okay, cool. And then over here, Craddock Peak and Craddock Pass, where we've come from. There's the power and the cross. Power is the railway station along the line, and then go past the tower around the outer edges, and then across to the cross. But going home, we turn right down the road, follow the edge of the plantation, yeah, it's just past 6:20 on my watch. Some more tracks over here. Signage says that's the quarry trail going to the quarry. If you enjoy these trails, please consider joining the Hillbillies Mountain Bike Club. And go left around the bend. It's about 6:25. And the road splits to the left. Yeah, we go to the left. Yeah, all the way left. All the way left.
Okay.
Okay, yes. Sampies hoogte, and then eventually we reached the point where we came out of the forest this morning onto this road, and then we just go down there again. It's going on to 7 o'clock. Just past 7:10. That says. Let's see if I can get there. It says Tierkop. And we have decided to take an alternative route home. Not going all the way to where we started this morning, on the contour road, where we came out on the contour road this morning. We're taking another road down, and this one is known as Bosvark. That's Afrikaans for bush pig. I'll just show you the little sign on the tree here. And it says Bosvark. Alright. Bosvark is long and fairly steep if you're cycling it up on a bicycle, but it's a nice downhill if you're hiking. And that'll take us down to the lower contour road, and then from there we'll turn left and go to where we parked the cars this morning, at the top of Arbor Road. It's about 7:15, going on to 7:15. Here we are, the bottom of Bosvark, and we're approaching a crossroads, and there's a tree in the middle of the crossroads, some ferns growing around it, this little patch I call a woozle bush. If you know Winnie the Pooh, one of the stories, the original Winnie the Pooh, not the Walt Disney Winnie the Pooh. In the original Winnie the Pooh, Pooh and Piglet walk around a woozle bush. So this is woozle bush. And at this woozle bush, we keep to the left, going back to Arbor Road. That's the way to Witfontein State Forest Office. That's Bosvark up there. And the road turning, the way I'm looking now, the road turning down towards the left hand side, that's the road to Aram Road, Aram Street. But we're going to Arbor Road. It's about 7:25, and here we are where we started this morning, top of Arbor Road. Glad to be back. Feet are sore,
I must say
backs
goodbye.
are...
I must give Carl his bottle.
Okay. And there's Carl and Johanna sitting on the sidewalk waiting for us. Yeah, almost home. Almost home. Thank you everybody for coming along.